China's set to seal a high-profile deal with Airbus. Good morning and welcome to this Monday edition of Asia Business Report. I'm Sharon Jitlale in Singapore. Another landmark deal for European aircraft maker Airbus. China will reportedly sign a big order later today for at least 100 Airbus A320 jets. The contract is worth about $7 billion US. China's fast-growing travel industry is growing by double digits annually. The country has become a major battleground for Airbus and rival Boeing, which currently holds around 60% of the Chinese market. Well, joining us now in the studio is Simon Littlewood from Asia Now. Now, of course, it's on the front cover of various newspapers. You see conflicting numbers. The Asian Wall Street Journal saying 150 jetliners potentially to be signed today. Of course, the deal comes just 2 weeks after President Bush's visit there, which saw a sizable number of Boeing jets being ordered as well. And, of course, this one coincides with Premier Wen Jiabao being in France. So to what extent is this all political?
Well, I think the Chinese are very keen to maintain balanced relations with between Europe and the US. I mean, the US have actually done very well out of the boom in Chinese aviation, somewhat better than the Europeans. I mean, the aircraft numbers, Boeing's got, I think, twice the share of the Chinese market that Airbus has. Also, US companies like Unisys have done very well, selling things like software to new Chinese airports. So, by and large, I suppose the Americans are ahead.
But do you think the Europeans are catching up now?
It's hard to say. I think that they're making a very big deal out of this deal. 70 is, I think, the actual fixed number that they're going to sign for, but you can see why by Airbus, which is headquartered in Toulouse in southwest France. The French badly need some good news at the moment, so de Villepin's very keen to shake hands on this deal, right. Unsurprisingly.
Right. Now, what's interesting also about this deal is speculation, again from reports suggesting that Airbus might invest in an assembly line in China, which is unprecedented, of course, because they currently manufacture just in Germany and France. So what would that mean?
Well, I'm not sure it'll mean a hell of a lot, actually. I mean, if you actually read the language, I mean, of course, it's politically significant, and the Chinese are welcoming it. And what it does, I suppose, is it demonstrates to the Chinese that the Europeans are more serious players to some extent than the Americans. On the other hand, the language that the French have used, or Airbus have used, states that the new facility will be complementary to rather than replace anything in France or Germany, because politically, of course, as you know, there is massive sensitivity about the movement of jobs out of France. I mean, just recently we had a number of examples, Danone being one, I think, where for good economic reasons there was a desire to move jobs outside France, and this caused the most enormous political furore. So it's not clear to me that actually makes a hell of a lot of sense for Airbus.
What about the transfer of technology? Because that's very sensitive as well, particularly to China.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if you look at what's actually being planned, already there are a significant amount of components being sourced from Chinese manufacturers. So the idea will be to achieve some synergies by actually assembling the bits that are sourced in China, rather than sending them all to France, assembling them and sending them back again. So
now, how helpful is all this to Airbus, you know, coming just weeks after it's agreed to pay compensation for a late delivery of the biggest airplane in the world, the A380?
Yeah, well, as we were saying earlier, I mean, you make a very good point. You know, Airbus, with great fanfare, launched its A380, and almost straight away after that had to admit it didn't actually work. That obviously didn't do their image an awful lot of good here. I mean, here in Singapore Airlines, I think, are asking for very significant amounts of compensation. It's embarrassing if you're a leading airline and you announce that you're acquiring a new aircraft and all of a sudden you have to delay it for 6 months. So I think you're right. I think it's very important for a number of reasons that Airbus is able to announce good news, and they'll certainly make the most of this one.
All right, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much.
Right.
Simon Littlewood from Asia Now. And that wraps up this edition of the programme. Thanks so much for joining us.